Hi dears, today we can discuss the last topic of the second module, electrodynamic waves, which is the reflection and transmission at normal incidence. For that, we can consider a plane boundary YZ. A plane boundary YZ in between two media having the properties k1 epsilon 1 mu 1 n1 v1 and k2 epsilon 2 mu 2 n2 v2 respectively. So now we can consider plane wave is traveling with an angular velocity omega along x direction. With an angular velocity omega along x direction. So consider x is the direction of propagation and the wave is polarized along y direction. The wave is polarized along y direction, which means that electric field is along y direction. As we know, we have discussed before, the direction of polarization is generally considering the direction of electric field. So, an electromagnetic wave is traveling along the x direction with an angular velocity omega and polarized in y direction, which is considered as an incident wave at this boundary. This is the boundary. YZ wave is the boundary and a wave is incidenting from this direction. It will be a portion of this wave will be reflected back from this boundary and a part will be, remaining part will be transmitted to this side. And consider one thing, when the wave is reflecting, it will be passing in the negative x direction. To indicate that negative x direction, the reflected wave will be, magnetic direction will be in this direction, negative z direction. So, we can write down the field representation of electric field and magnetic field as Ei of xt is equal to E0 I e raised to I into kx minus omega t unit vector j to represent the polarization along y direction. And Bi of xt is equal to B0 I into e raised to I kx minus omega t unit vector k to represent it is polarized along z direction. So, and we can write B is equal to E by C. As we know, B is equal to E by C. For any linear media, we are considering here the boundary between two linear media. So, we can write B0I is equal to E0I by V, which is the velocity of that media. So, we can replace this equation as Bi of xt is equal to E0I by V1, where the incident wave is passing across the medium 1. E0I by V1 e raised to I into kx minus omega t unit vector k. And together Ei of xt is equal to E0I e raised to I into kx minus omega t unit vector j, and together these equations represent the equation number 1. So, when the wave is incident from the x direction, positive x direction, a part of wave is reflected back and a part is transmitted into the x direction. We have considered the boundary as YZ. Here this is the wave which is representing the incident wave, and this is the reflected wave, and this is the transmitted wave. In this reflected wave, I am going to write down these equations of field vectors as ERxt is equal to E0R e raised to I into minus k1x minus omega t unit vector j. Here ER is polarized along the y direction, so unit vector j, and the wave is traveling in the negative x direction. To indicate that, here the negative sign is introduced. And also Brxt is equal to E0R by V1 e raised to I into minus k1x minus omega t unit vector minus k. Here the wave is incident in this direction and the wave is reflected in the negative x direction. So the magnetic field will be along the negative z direction to indicate the traveling of the wave along negative x direction as like this. J cross k minus k will be equal to negative I. Then the wave is reflected back along negative x direction. And here we have substituted B0R is equal to E0R by V1, where V1 is the velocity of wave along medium 1. In such a similar way, I am going to rewrite the transmitted wave ETxt is equal to E0 t raised to I into K2x minus omega tj. Here the only change is K2, which represent the medium 2 through which the transmitted wave is traveling. And in this case, Btxt is equal to E0 t by V2 e raised to I into K2x minus omega t. Here K2 represent the medium 2 and E0 t by V2, which is the substitution for V0 t. These equations set 1, 2, 3 represent the total field vectors of electric field and magnetic field both in incident, reflected and transmitted directions. As we have considered a system in which the boundary is along YZ and the electric field and magnetic field contributions are parallel to the boundary, there will be no perpendicular contributions along the perpendicular directions to the boundary. So, no need to represent the boundary conditions which are perpendicular to the direction of boundary. So, we are considering E1 parallel is equal to E2 parallel and B1 parallel by mu1 is equal to B2 parallel by mu2 as equation number 4 and 5, which we need to represent the theory of reflection and transmission. So, I am considering starting from the first equation, that is which represent the resultant form of electric field in the first medium is equal to the resultant form of electric field in the second medium, that is EI plus ER is equal to ET. From the equations 1, 2 and 3, I am going to substitute as E0I e raised to I into K1x minus omega t plus E0R e raised to I into minus K1x minus omega t is equal to E0t e raised to I into K2x minus omega t. As we know from the previous topic, the simple harmonic wave is continuous at the boundary. We can say f of 0 minus t should be equal to f of 0 plus t at the boundary x equal to 0. So, I am going to substitute here. The equations will be E0I plus E0R is equal to E0t, where e raised to I into minus omega t will be a common term on the LHS and RHS, and this will be vanish and give it as equation number 6. In this, E0I, E0R and E0t represent the complex amplitudes of electric field in incident, reflected and transmitted waves. So, we can consider the next boundary condition V1 parallel by mu1 is equal to V2 parallel by mu2, in which the resultant component of V1 parallel by mu1 in medium 1 is equal to V2 parallel by mu2, which represent that Vi by mu1 plus Vr by mu1 should be equal to Vt by mu2, where mu1 and mu2 are the properties of first medium and second medium respectively. So, from the first set of equations, I am going to write it as E0I by V1 mu1 e raised to I into K1x minus omega t minus E0R by V1 mu1 e raised to I into minus K1x minus omega t is equal to E0t by V2 mu2 e raised to I into K2x minus omega t. And as we said before, at the boundary x equal to 0, the simple harmonic wave will be continuous at the boundary. So, f of 0 plus t should be equal to f of 0 minus t, which implies that at x equal to 0, these equations will be equal. So, at x equal to 0, E0I by V1 mu1 minus E0R by V1 mu1 will be equal to E0t by V2 mu2, and one term I have already vanished, e raised to I into minus omega t is here, here and here. So, the common term is vanished and the remaining term is rearranging as E0I minus E0R is equal to V1 mu1 by V2 mu2 E0t, and I am going to substitute V1 mu1 by V2 mu2 is equal to beta. So, rewriting this equation as E0I minus E0R is equal to beta E0 t, which is the second boundary condition with the relation for complex amplitudes of reflected incident and transmitted waves. We need to get the expression for the reflected amplitude and transmitted amplitude in terms of incident amplitude from these two boundary conditions. So to get that, I am going to add the equation 6 and 7, which gives 2E0I is equal to 1 plus beta into E0t. In this, by rearranging, I get the relation E0t is equal to 2 by 1 plus beta E0I. I am going to give it as equation number 8. Now, I need to get the relation between E0R and E0I. So, I am going to multiply equation number 6 into beta, which implies E0I beta plus beta into E0R is equal to beta E0t. And give it as equation number 9. Now, subtract 9 from the equation number 7. That is 7 minus 9. Which implies 1 minus beta E0I minus 1 plus beta E0R is equal to 0. That is beta E0t minus beta E0t. That is 1 minus beta into E0I is equal to 1 plus beta into E0R, where E0R is equal to 1 minus beta by 1 plus beta E0I, which is equation number 10. So, I have rewritten the equation 8 and 10 to give a substitution. As we have already substituted, beta is equal to V1 mu1 by V2 mu2, and we know for most cases the value of the permittivity will be closely resembles that of their values in vacuum. For such cases, for a non-conducting media, beta is equal to V1 by V2. We have to substitute this beta is equal to V1 by V2 in these equations. First case, consider this equation E0t is equal to 2 by 1 plus V1 by V2 E0I. That's equal to 2V2 divided by V1 plus V2 E0I. E0t is equal to 2V2 by V1 plus V2 E0I. Next, we can consider this equation. E0R is equal to 1 minus V1 by V2 by 1 plus V1 by V2 E0I. That will be equal to V2 minus V1 by V1 plus V2 E0I. So, together these equations, E0R is equal to V2 minus V1 by V1 plus V2 E0I. These are the relations to represent the complex amplitudes of transmitted and reflected electric field vector in terms of incident vectors. So, we can consider the special case V2 greater than V1. And we know the complex amplitudes can be expanded in terms of real amplitudes like this. E0I is equal to E0I into e raised to I delta I, and similarly these two terms also. When V2 is greater than 1, these are in phase. Delta I is equal to delta R is equal to delta T. So, we know these equations resemble same as that of the stretched string case. In this case, V2 greater than V1, it is in phase, then E0T will be equal to 2V2 by V1 plus V2 E0I, where here will be E0 I delta I and here I delta T, and here it will be E0 I delta I, which are same. So, this will be equation. And the next equation E0R will be equal to V2 minus V1 by V1 plus V2 E0I. Here also there will be E0, e raised to I delta R and e raised to I delta I, which are also same. So these are the equations when the special case V2 is greater than V1. When V2 is less than V1 or V1 is greater than V2, here there will be a sign in these equations. So we can generally write down these equations as E0t is equal to 2V2 by V1 plus V2, E0I and E0R is equal to magnitude of V2 minus V1 by V1 plus V2, E0I. For both the cases, V1 greater than V2, which is the out of phase component, and V2 greater than V1, which is the in phase. In both these cases, these equations are valid. And these equations represent the relation between the real amplitudes of reflected and transmitted wave in terms of incident wave. And we know these are the relation with the complex amplitudes of reflected transmitted with the incident wave. Now we can derive the one more relation. We know V is equal to C by N or V is proportional to 1 by N. From this V1 by V2 is equal to N2 by N1. E0t is equal to 2N1 by N1 plus N2 E0I. E0R is equal to magnitude of N1 minus N2 by N1 plus N2 into E0I, which gives the real amplitudes in terms of refractive index of the medium. So we have derived three set of relation with the amplitudes. One with the complex amplitude and the real amplitude in terms of velocity and in terms of refractive indices. The next we can discuss the reflection and transmission coefficients. That is, the reflection coefficient is the fraction of incident wave reflected, which is represented using R. R is equal to the ratio of intensity of reflected wave to the intensity of incident wave. As we know, intensity of the wave is represented as 1 by 2 V epsilon E0 square already in the previous section. So R is equal to IR by II as given. We can represent it as 1 by 2 V1 epsilon 1 E0 R square divided by 1 by 2 V1 epsilon 1 E0 I square, where the reflected and incident wave are in the same medium. Here will be epsilon 1 V1. That is equal to E0 R square divided by E0 I square. And we know E0 R is equal to N1 minus N2 by N1 plus N2 E0 I. So I am going to rewrite it as N1 minus N2 by N1 plus N2 square into E0 I square divided by E0 I square. And this will be vanishing. So the reflection coefficient R should be equal to N1 minus N2 by N1 plus N2 whole square. Similar way we can derive the transmission coefficient T, which is the fraction of incident wave transmitted, as T is equal to intensity of transmitted wave to the intensity of incident wave, which is IT by II. That's equal to 1 by 2 V2 epsilon 2 E0 T square to the ratio 1 by 2 V1 epsilon 1 E0 I square. Here it will be equal to V2 epsilon 2 E0 T square by V1 epsilon 1 E0 I square. And I need to give some substitutions for V2 epsilon 2 by V1 epsilon 1 in terms of refractive indices. So before that, I am going to write root of mu1 epsilon 1 is equal to 1 by V1 and root of mu2 epsilon 2 is equal to 1 by V2. So root of mu2 epsilon 2 divided by mu2 epsilon 1 is equal to mu2 epsilon 2 is equal to 1 by V2 and 1 by mu1 epsilon 1 is equal to V1, which is also equal to N2 by N1. In terms of refractive index, we know V is equal to C by N. So V1 is proportional to N1 inversely and V2 similarly proportional to N2, which implies V1 by V2 is equal to N2 by N1. And for a non-magnetic media, mu2 is equal to mu1. For a non-magnetic media, mu2 is equal to mu1 should be approximately equal to mu0. So this ratio will be turned as square root of epsilon 2 by epsilon 1 is equal to N2 by N1. Or the square of this equation, that is epsilon 2 by epsilon 1 is equal to N2 by N1 square. We can substitute this for here. So T is equal to V2 epsilon 2 is 0, T square by V1 epsilon 1 is 0, I square is substituted. Epsilon 2 by epsilon 1 is equal to N2 square by N1 square, and V2 by V1 is equal to N1 by N2. That's equal to N1 by N2 into N2 square by N1 square into E0 T square. E0 T square is equal to 2N1 by N1 plus N2 whole square E0 I square divided by E0 I square, where this E0 I square will be vanishing, and N2 square cancelled, N1 square got cancelled, and the remaining is T is equal to N2 by N1 into 2N1 divided by N1 plus N2 whole square. This is the expression for transmission coefficient. In such a way, T and R gives the reflection and transmission coefficients of the incident wave. And also, according to the conservation of energy, the whole energy or wave which is incident will be reflected or transmitted. That is, R plus T should be equal to I, and no energy of the incident wave will be lost at the boundary between two media. This is the topic, reflection and transmission of electromagnetic waves at normal incidence. In this topic, we have derived the relation between the complex amplitudes and the real amplitudes of incident and reflected transmitted waves, and also their relation in terms of refractive indices. And also we derive the special cases when V2 greater than V1 and V1 greater than V2, and in such a way we have derived the expression for reflection and transmission coefficients. Thank you.